Hey guys, how you doing? This is Service iBot. We just wanted to give you a quick rundown of our system. We just wanted to show you kind of the features that we have now. And we're just going to give you a little bit of back history about the company. Won't take very long, and then we'll just run through the system real quick.
All right. Well, the CEO of Service iBot, Justin, is a serial entrepreneur. He's got about 15 years in the lawn care industry. He's been a part of about 5 startups. And myself, the other co-founder, I've been in the software industry for about 15 years in a variety of domains. And I've been a part of 4 or more startups.
Okay, so we're just going to tell you a little bit about what Service iBot is, if you may be wondering, and how this can better help your business. We're just going to cut straight to the chase with it and tell you. So we do fleet management and tracking, GPS tracking of your crews and your teams. We do CRM, we do back office automation, we do payments, we do invoicing, we do routing, schedule optimization, route optimizations, and many more features that we'll get to in other videos.
So let's talk a little bit about when Service iBot was formed. So I would say that the ideation and prototyping began around 2014. Believe it or not, we even began with QR codes and messing around with that technology a little bit. And the name of the first app was actually called Field Scan, and you never saw it. It never made it out into the wild. So we say all that just to say that we've been through several prototypes. We've thrown away code a couple times and started over, and we've done a few iterations already on this version of the app, as well as being prototyped with the founder's lawn care company for a couple years before even telling you guys about it. So the heart and soul of this application and some of the innovation and creativity that's in there relies on location-based functionality, and you'll see a little bit of that, and there's going to be a lot more to come.
Yep, so we are going to tell you a little bit about why we formed this, and then we're just going to jump straight into it. So pretty much we formed this system because, being in the service industry business for multiple years, just kind of felt like there wasn't actually a system that could perform and do everything that was needed on a regular basis of the, everything that needed to be done with, clients and crews and just back office. So we've kind of integrated all that into one system, and you'll be able to, you'll understand better when we actually get into it. We just want to show you a little bit of, how it works. So when you get to the main screen, we'll just kind of jump right in. You'll go to serviceiBot.com. You'll kind of see a little bit of information about our system, what we're all about, what it does. And once you get set up, we actually do free trials as well. So no credit card required. We are a month-to-month service, so if you go to free trial, you'll get a 15-day trial, and it'll automatically log you into the system. You can load your clients and everything in the system and customize everything for your particular business. If you need help with that, we'll always be here to help you, so you can just message us and just let us know. So once you log in, you'll be able to log into the system, take you to here. It's going to take you to a dashboard screen. It's pretty much just going to show you pretty much the analytics of the business and exactly how everything's running. I've kind of envisioned, having, 1 or 2 screens that kind of tell you everything about the business. Just kind of show you, how everything's running, and you can just look at it and say, okay, we're doing well or we're not doing so well. This will show you pretty much everything you need to know about that in one screen. We do have our CRM, which is pretty much going to be tracking your leads, your clients, any calls you may have call in on a daily basis. If you want to know who talked to who, you track all that here when they come in. Adding your new leads and your customers into the system will be here. We'll have a functionality that'll be here that you'll automatically be able to just import them into the system. And that way, we'll help you with all that. So there's no worries about anything like that.
Right. So here at Service iBot, we were formed to improve the quality of people's lives. I think bad software ruins people's lives, and I think good software can improve the quality of people's lives. I became a founder because I was personally dissatisfied with the quality of software that I used every day, and some of the frustrations and everything. And some of the things that we do here at Service iBot it's not necessarily that we might not be doing some of the same things that you've already seen. We just think we do them better. So you probably experienced some of the software you use. It might work, but not like you want it to. So here at Service iBot, we want to improve the usability and have a simple user interface, and these sort of things we're very passionate about. And so just a quick short history about where Service iBot was formed. At Service iBot, we've already had the privilege of great reach. We've searched far and wide for the very best engineers. Service iBot to date has been built in New York, Alabama, and Texas. The corporate office is located in Alabama. In other words, 100% made in USA. We're excited about that. We hope you are as well. As far as company vision, what are our goals? And then we're going to kind of dovetail that into what we think that your goals might be. Being is that we've got some experience with the lawn care industry. It's just one of the industries that we'll target. We want to make this year out customizable, industry agnostic. Anybody with a company with crews and trucks and things to track and people to track, we're going to help you do that. So we want happier customers, happier employees, lower expenses, increased productivity. And that sounds like a lot of buzzwords, but we actually have ways we think that we can accomplish that. So we think some of your goals, first and foremost, in 2020 and 2021, we know that you've had challenges with COVID-19. You've been in an environment where efficiency is paramount and your business needs to be dynamic and run more efficient than ever, and we think we can do that. We're going to help you getting into the specifics. We know that you want to know where your trucks are and who's on those trucks. We're going to do that. We know that you want to know where your inventory is and what trucks that inventory is on. We're going to do that. We know that you want to save money on fuel. We can automatically reroute and reschedule. Unfinished jobs that aren't finished at the end of the day, they can automatically get kicked to the next day and everything else shifted forward. You might be doing that every night as a manager. We want to take that from you and take that burden off your shoulders. So the Service iBot platform is kind of a trinity. It consists of 3 apps, actually. You're looking at one of them. This is the company app or the back office app. This is the back office functions we're going to go through a little bit. There's a crew app, which is the app that all the crew members or team members, anybody that's on a truck or car providing services would use. And then there's a client, that's the app that your customer will be using. So getting into the company app a little bit, I'll hand this back over to Justin.
Okay, so a little bit about that, to continue on. So you'll be able to track all your leads, client calls within the system. You'll be able to view your client pages and take payment. A lot of people have the worry with not being able to get paid, whether you're taking, cash, checks, card payments. We're making that easy for you. It's just a click of a button. You can have everything in the system and just get to, get your payments the next day. Makes it pretty simple. You can view the schedule. You can view, what days and what times you're scheduled to go to that client. Anything that's pretty much, recurring payments we can set up. And we can actually set up where you can see, how often you're going to have to service this client. All that'll be available on the View Clients within your client portal page. Scheduling, like we were discussing, under Dispatch Schedules, it'll pretty much have your schedule. And we'll briefly just look down the page here and see. So we've got color-coded by crews. Everything will be in there. You'll be able to put all your crews in, based on where the jobs are located, and each night the schedule will automatically, recalculate it based on the closest of the property. So you don't have to worry about sitting there and moving here and there and, one client under the other. The system does all that for you. You can just go to bed and let it do it, and the next morning it'll be ready to go.
And by the way, that color coding is automated. You don't have to bother with making sure that you've created a color for each crew or anything like that. It's just automatically generated. So once you've created and established your crews, and then hook the crews to the trucks and the crews and the trucks to a schedule, it will automatically color code it. By the way, we know that some of your jobs are really big, and you might send multiple trucks to one location. If you have a giant sod job or something like that, we've already handled that. We've taken care of it. So just let you know, we've handled that case as well.
And continuing on with, the navigation, of course, we're working with a third party here. So we pretty much have, trackers which would plug into the diagnostics within your vehicle that will actually, show you where your vehicles are. And that way it's within the system.
Just, you'll have to have a brand new truck to be able to do that?
do not. I mean, actually, with our businesses, we use used vehicles, so those are pretty much you know just work just as good as the new ones. So as long as you have that diagnostic port, you can go ahead and plug in, and you'll be able to actually track any of this. You can see, you'll be able to see your crews on the map. You'll actually be able to highlight over them and see exactly how many jobs have been completed. So 1 out of 10 jobs have been completed. And you'll actually be able to see that on each of yours. Once you click on it, you'll actually be able to see a bubble pop up and show you actually the progress that crew is actually doing.
And I can see these trucks moving on the map in real time, right?
Correct. So you'll actually be able to see, where these trucks are and zoom out, and you'll actually be able to see, just pretty much where everything's happening. Our ideal goal was to be able to see where your crews are and what your crews are doing to, and your scheduling to make it more, the productivity, a lot better and make it more efficient, because in this industry, with any vehicle, you always want to save on fuel. So, if you have 2 trucks or you have 50 trucks, you want to be more efficient. So you want to have your routes really tight. You want to have your routes the best efficient for the next day. If crews miss jobs or you have someone out sick, things like, just simple things that you wouldn't think of on a daily basis. You don't want to have to worry about, who's going to do these jobs. You want the system to automatically just figure it out for you. And if one truck's down for the day and you've got to shift jobs to another one, you can just easily shift them in our scheduler. You can shift them to assign it to another crew and then reroute it, and it'll automatically put that in the system. So just little things like that.
So heaven forbid, Justin, what if somebody runs off with one of my trucks?
Well, if somebody runs off with one of the trucks, you'll be able to track it and see exactly where they went with it.
Well, that sounds like a good thing too.
So, we'll be able to, see any of those kind of things, but, just keep in mind, we built this system to work for you, not for you to work for it. So, it just makes it a little bit easier to, run your business if you have something that's helping you instead of you're working against it. Invoicing, you can do invoicing in here. Our invoicing, pretty much does everything you need to do. You can charge clients, you can do refunds easily. Everything's by the click of a button. You don't have to sit there and log into another system and say, I'm going to take cards in this system and it's going to transfer my payments into this one. Everything's done here. You can
I sign contracts?
You can do that. Under our forms tab, you can go to new estimates. You can create a contract, and we actually have it now where you can actually brand that. So whatever logo your company has that you have set up in the system will actually brand on that contract or form. So once you actually, if you wanted to print an estimate out or something for someone, it would actually show your logo customizable on there. You can fill all information, you can select what they want done, and any information about the property, the price on everything. We've actually got an integration signature into this, so you can actually get your clients to come in here and sign off.
You can sign them in the office. You can sign them on the
field.
Location.
Yep, in the field. So it's pretty customizable. I mean, this is actually something that will be actually on the crew app. So if you have a manager in the field or a supervisor, they can take this out. They can fill out this form on an iPad or a tablet. Whatever works best for you, and they can automatically get the customer, to just sign that out in the field and get that done. Once they, complete this form, it'll actually send a copy to your back office as well as your client, on the fly while you're out there. And, you don't even have to, worry about tracking that information or losing paper or things like that always you have to worry about,
Right. So we've got 3 apps. So the back office app here, the company app, is web-based. But by the way, if you all wanted that to be a mobile app, we could very, very easily convert it. For the crew and the client app, those are mobile apps. So your client app's the one that your customer will use to see when you visited their property, what work you did. If they want to file a complaint and take a picture of where you ran over their solar lights or rip the handle out of their gate or something like that, they can do those things. They can take a picture and upload it. If we took the weed eater to your purple irises, that sort of thing, they'll be able to keep in contact with you. So it's the whole system is kind of centered around sort of an integrity loop all the way around. We want the customers to know what's going on, the business to know what's going on, the crew to know what they're doing. So everybody's in communication. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Same thing with supplies request. If you go supplies request, if a crew is out in the field, they need more oil, they need some edger blades, they need a vacuum or cleaning supplies, they can immediately get requested for that. This will go straight to your back office and tell them, hey, all these boxes will be dynamic. I think you had mentioned, pretty much they will actually be customizable based on your particular company,
right.
and you'll be able to actually, customize these when you set up and go into
your industry.
Yep. When you go into company settings and you actually would go to main settings in the system, you'll actually be able to customize these fields for all those things. So you won't have to worry about, having something that you don't do on your page.
Yep.
Everything that's for your particular company will be there.
You want this to be your app.
Yep. Crew setup is pretty simple. That's pretty much where you're going to set up all your crews. Inventory, like we had mentioned, you'll be able to track everything. If you have a business that, sells fertilizer, you'll be able to track all the different bags of fertilizer that you sell. Track the date it came in, the date it was in service, the date it went out, any information about it. You'll actually even be able to have a thumbnail in here to be able to see, okay, this is the product that I actually have in storage or in the field that's being used right now. You can say the pricing in here. We've made it very flexible for, a lot of things and a lot of companies to be able to use this just for ease of use. If you want to explain a little bit more about, the Closeout Job and how that works.
Sure. So this on the back office app here, we have the ability to close out the job. Primarily, that's going to be the crew member's responsibility. They will have the crew app, and we want you to have like I said, a higher integrity system, 360 degrees. So the crew member cannot actually say that they've completed a job if they're not within like 100 yards of the location. They're going to be presented with the 5 nearest locations to them, and that's it. They can't even see the other customers to log. So this makes it more efficient because they're not inundated with information. They're given location-specific information, and then for you as a company, you can know that these crew members' work is geo-validated, and you can hang your hat on it that if they said they were there and they did the job, they probably did. They at least had to be at the location to mark it done. So,
but I think also we've integrated that in now into the scheduling. So when they actually complete a specific job on the schedule, this all works on the back end.
Right.
So So when you actually go to a client, you have to be within that distance to actually complete the job, or it would prompt you and say you're not within location distance.
Right.
But when so technically this Closeout Job screen is mainly for back office to be able to use to say, hey,
somebody forgot
to do this. They left their property already. They don't want to drive back, be inefficient with their schedule and stuff like that. They just went on to the next one. So they call in. This will automatically have everything in the database. They can ask their office admin and say, hey, will you close this job out for me? Everything can be done from this screen. And, we added this screen because we knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Pretty much.
Like a manager override kind of thing.
Yep. So we knew that was going to be one of those things, and we didn't want, the problem with being able to close a job and not being able to close it in the field. So we just figured, and that can all be done. There's multiple ways to do it. Back office can do it from the dispatch screen as well and close jobs. But
so if the crew member messes up, the back office can come in here and close out the job. If the back office messes up, you can actually know that too from the audit trail, because this tracks every action that's ever occurred in the system when we keep an audit trail of everything and kind of who did it, what time it was, and all of these sorts of things. So again, to enable you to have a high integrity company and efficient workforce. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the client app. So like I said, we have kind of a trinity of apps. We have the company app, which is the back office app. We have the crew app, which is the app that the crew members use to log visits and to kind of view their routes and this sort of thing, and to request supplies if they're missing supplies. Then we have the client app also, where the client can communicate with the back office, and like I said, take pictures of things that might have been broken. They can just ask general questions. They can request for a specific service to be provided. Again, configurable by you. They'll have check boxes. They'll say, I want my grass cut. I want my shrubs trimmed. I want my driveway blown off. Whatever services that you configure to put into those check boxes, they can use. The client app, like I said, also has the ability for the customer to see what date and time that those crew members were there and that the service that they said they were going to perform was actually performed. And so you'll see that the job was done and which job was done, whichever one they marked off. And then the other thing that's cool about the client app is that you as a business have the ability to configure and push particular promotions for your specific company. So you can select the images that you want to use for those promotions, and maybe some text to describe them. The customer will simply check a box, say, hey, I want this promo, I want this 10% off, 50% off, or whatever promotion it is that you're running, and then they can submit that, and you'll get an email saying that they want that deal, and then you can set them up for it.
So what if I wanted to go on the client app and, if I wanted to go on there and I didn't really know what business, when I went on to it, is it customizable for like the particular business that's using it?
Right. Yep. It's all customizable. So again, the different service types or whatever that are available specific to your business. So if it's lawn care, you're cutting grass, if it's maid service, if you're cleaning toilets, or if you're vacuuming floors, any and all these things are there. And then
I think you can logo it too,
Right. Yeah. So we'll make it all brandable. So when they log in, you're going to go down. Everybody will download the Service iBot apps from the App Store. But then once they log in, it's more like it's your app. We want you to be able to scan it and customize it and these sort of things. And more of that is coming. But you'll have your logo at the top, and they'll know that when they've logged in that, hey, this is the app that I'm using, and you'll have your own personal touch and logo, at the top of the app when they log in, and your configurable services. This is about you. This is your app, like we said, that we built for you to be able to customize. But we use it too.
Correct. Yep. And so I think the other app, which is the Crew app. So Crew is pretty much going to be a basic more version of your back office. It's going to be with your scheduler. It's going to have your estimator on there, so you can get estimates in the field. It's going to have any of your communication methods, your supplies requests, anything like that you would need to contact the office. But the neat thing about that, it also has a communication method of a chat ability. So it's actually going to be able to, your crew members are actually going to be able to chat with the admin, your office manager in the office if there's any issues. So the problem with not having their own phone, or their phone not being able to have internet capabilities to be able to do these things. If you have them set up with an iPad or an Android tablet or anything like that, it'll pretty much you'll know if they're online. So if they actually are logged in, you'll be actually be able to go in there and send them a message and say, hey, Mrs. Jones wanted to get the shrubs trimmed, or the bottom level of this home needs to be vacuumed. Little things like that.
Right. So you might put a tablet on each truck, kind of thing, and
so that you can communicate with them easier and just make a little bit, makes it more efficient. That way you don't have to, worry about texting and forgetting to see messages and things like that. He's kind of just put it where everything's in one system. And, we definitely want to work with you on this and add more features. So it's mainly, you let us know the best thing you want. And if you feel that, this system's for you, we'll be glad to show you more information about it, even get you set up. You can go to serviceibot.com. You can pretty much just, take a look at our page, look at everything that we're integrating with, look what we're putting into the system. This is one of those things that, we're not asking you for a credit card unless you're ready to sign up with us.
So you're not going to slam me after 15 days?
After 15 days, you get a free trial, and then after that, we'll set you up on a plan. We'll help you figure out what plan is best for your business, whether it's just you or you have 50 trucks.
Right. There's no automatic thing. You're going to contact us, and we'll set it up.
Correct. Yep. And then if you have a customer base and a list of customers that you don't want to sit there and enter them all in the system, that's all something we can discuss, and we can get them in the system for you very easily. But we just want to give you a little brief, preview of what we got here. So that pretty much wraps up all that for now. I don't know if we have anything else.
Just want to thank you for your time, and thank you for checking out Service iBot.
Thank you, everyone.
And all.